Hello and welcome to the ENG Youth Netball Premier League review show or update show. I don't know, Richard, was that good enough? Was that good enough, mate?
Mate, you've completely aced that this week.
I'm working on it, man. I'm doing a hell of a lot here with all the tech and a chair that keeps on just descending. I might have to just stand up for the whole one of this show.
Mate, you should go to the dump shop like me and get one for 50p, mate.
Do you know what? I will do that, matey. After our discussions last time.
High Wycombe Dump Shop. Got some great office chairs there.
There's nothing wrong with secondhand stuff. I think, rotating stuff around, bringing it back to life. It's a great idea. Perfect.
I didn't bring it back to life. I just kept it the way it was from the dump.
Yeah, but see, it was going to get crushed, mate. And you kept it alive. That's what you did. You gave it repurpose. You gave it a new life.
I kept netball alive last year.
Oh, mate, I tell you what. Kept it alive, keeping it alive. I mean, this weekend, that thumbnail I did, I'm not joking. I was like, I have to put fire on this because it's literally going to light up this weekend, I think. So,
well, we had a good week, good day on Saturday. The league is really, it's getting to a point where everything we kind of predicted or got wrong as well. We were being proved wrong in some cases. Our predictions are coming right in others. But the enthusiasm now from the teams, from the spectators, and in general, the amount of people engaging in this league is incredible, and that's just credit to I can provide the platform in regards to the marketing or the whole idea around the league, but the clubs have to turn up, they have to play their part, and so do the spectators, and everyone's doing their job really well, and hopefully these girls are having a great time because it's a completely different ball game to what they're probably used to. But to be honest, I think they're really enjoying it. But let's go through the scores of Saturday's ENG Under-12s Youth Netball Premier League Northern Conference. Big week for teams like Leeds in particular. They were going potentially on a mission to win the championship. Then you had Wyre and Saddleworth fighting for the top four. Then we had a relegation scrap between Ellesmere Port and Chester. And here were the scores. So Kingsway Power under 11s, they played Saddleworth. It was 20-36 to Saddleworth. So that set Saddleworth up nicely for their game against Wyre. Then we had Kingsway Power under 12s taking on Leeds Athletic. Good game, really good game. Scrappy at times. Both it at some points it didn't seem like anyone wanted to win the game. I don't know whether it is the pressure or the nervousness, but the opportunity is there for both sides to take full control of that game in periods, and they both failed to do it. And we just went on a complete back and forth between Leeds winning, Kingsway Power winning. It was a good game, and I think, to be honest, I think Leeds should be gutted that they didn't get the win there. The opportunity was right there in front of them to kind of take down this powerhouse that is Kingsway Power, but unfortunately just couldn't take that opportunity. You remember us talking about it in regards to if you get 3-4 points up, you've got to recognise where you are. You've got to recognise how well you're doing, but at the same time, see that as an opportunity to really push forward and go 5, 6, 7 and really stop Kingsway Power trying to get back into the game. And Leeds could have done that. There was points in the game. They were 4 points up. Then their enthusiasm, or I don't know, they become more reckless in their passing or their shooting or defending, whatever. And they kept allowing Kingsway Power to come back into the game. And it seemed to me, especially in the third quarter, I think Kingsway Power come back, then Leeds all of a sudden woke up when they were 1 point behind again. And it's like, why couldn't you do that? Why couldn't you maintain that consistency when you're 4 points up? And they started badly, Leeds, and they come back into the game. Then they went ahead. Then they went in. There was in front for the first and second quarter, behind in the third. Kingsway Power looked like they'd kind of wrapped up the victory, but then they come back in the fourth again. And they had the ball off the centre pass, and there's about 15 seconds to go. And it went to it got past the shooter. The shooter decided to pass it. Then the ball got broken down. Maybe they should have shot, or I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But it was an opportunity missed to get a draw, and it was one of because they had two difficult games. Winning that game would have set them up nicely for the next one, but losing it would have kind of exhausted them mentally for the second ones, and that's what we kind of found out. So 21-20 was Kingsway Power's win over Leeds. Kingsway Power got the job done, so they could claim they didn't play their best and still won, and that's still a great thing.
How do you think that would have echoed through the league if Kingsway Power lost that?
Oh, it'd be massive. Everyone knows what Kingsway Power are all about. They're set up as a competition-based club. They don't hide the fact that that we want to win and we want to do as well as possible in everything we do, and that would have been massive. People would have looked at that result and gone, "Wow,
yeah."
That would, when those type of results happen, it feeds hope into other teams that, hold on a minute, if Leeds can do it, we can do it, type of thing.
And no disrespect to Leeds, it's just one of those things. It's like, actually they're not unstoppable. There can be a chink. How did Leeds pull it off? Is the question. But yeah, like you're saying, it could actually cause Kingsway a lot of problems. So then, and to be honest, just winning by 1 point still should be a bit like, hang on a sec. Leeds done an amazing job there.
They did, but at the same time, you look at it the other way. Why didn't they win? How when they were 3-4 points up, why didn't they maintain the level of competitiveness or consistency to get the job done? And if I was them, I'd be super frustrated. And that's a good thing as well, because normally when you play teams like Kingsway Power, you come away and just think, oh, thank God we didn't get beat by 10 or 15 or 20. But they've actually come away thinking we should have won. And not many teams do that against Kingsway Power. So
that's a good point.
It was good, but at the same time, I'd be kicking myself a little bit that they missed an opportunity there. But
I am going to say that what I said on the car on the way back was I'd already kind of pre-written the headlines for the emails I send out. Well, will Leeds do a Leicester?
Yeah.
Thanks, Leeds. I now can't put that out, so I have to think about my next title. Great, thank you very much. I'll do some more work.
But going into the Nationals, if they go against Kingsway Power again, I think it's a case of they're going to be even more confident they can get a result. So they still could have an opportunity to get the result they desire if they meet each other in the grand finals.
If I've got the roaming mic and everything up and sorted and stuff, blah blah blah, I'm definitely going to go to Leeds if those two end up coming up against each other. I'm going to be like, so Leeds, it's time to get your revenge.
Well, it potentially could be a semi-final tie, but we'll find out. But after that, Wyre took on Saddleworth. Wyre, this is big. I mean, we're going to speak to a couple of the Wyre players in a minute. But Saddleworth come off the back of a win against Kingsway Power under 11s. So the pressure was on big time on Wyre, because they knew, if they lost this game, it's over. Because Saddleworth's last game of the season is a win, is a guaranteed kind of win from anyway. So Wyre knew if they lost this game, it's over. And they started well, and they maintained a high level of consistency through the first, second, and third quarter. They nearly blew it in the fourth. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But they still managed to maintain their composure to kind of get the job done. And like you said, we're going to talk to the Wyre girls in a minute to get their feedback on Saturday's game. But then after that game, it's another intense game. Leeds taking on Oldham. Leeds, they started well. Both teams making mistakes early on. And it was kind of, once again, who's going to grab hold of this game and start dominating it. After half time, I think Leeds mentally exhausted themselves, because playing against Kingsway Power and Oldham in the first in one day is a lot to contend with. And but at the same time, good practice for them, going into the nationals, because all teams are going to play 3 massive games, and you've got to learn to kind of cope with that intensity for long periods of time. So Leeds did well up until half time, but Oldham, I think they kind of drained what Leeds had left in the tank in terms of their ability to stay concentrated and disciplined and competitive, and they went and got the win. And I think Oldham will for Oldham, that's kind of like saying to Kingsway Power, look, you only won by 1, we win by 17, and what type of attitude? It's like, it's kind of how you perceive that as, did Oldham beat Leeds that good? It was 30-13 because Leeds were exhausted, whether it's physically or mentally, or are Oldham generally just that much better than Kingsway Power? And we will find out.
Oh.
Well, we're going to find out the answer to that in a few weeks' time, so we haven't got long to wait. Then in the afternoon, it calmed down slightly. So we had Chester B. Again, this is Chester under 11's team. They replaced Wilmslow. They're just in this just to get the experience because they're coming into their league next season. So fair play to them. 64-5. So Wyre was on a mission to get their goal difference up in that game. And well done to Chester under 11s. They just kept going. No qualms. Just focused on learning their trade. So well done to Chester under 11s there. Then we had a big local rivalry. Good game between 2 teams who were looking or staring at being eliminated out of this league. But Chester secured their league status with a 32-19 win against Ellesmere Port. Ellesmere Port started well, but Chester broke them down in the second half in particular, and kind of everything kind of Ellesmere Port were doing well, they weren't doing well, because I think Chester kind of worked out how to kind of stop what they were doing well. So well done to Chester. And finally, we had the biggest rivalry in youth netball, the under 11s Chester taking on the under 12s. It was nuts. We had to call the ambulance. 41-7.
Well. Yep, there we go.
It was just crazy. The fans were going crazy. 41-7 to Chester. And Chester, that was the first back-to-back wins they've had this season. And they've secured their place in the league, and they'll be back next season better, ready to go, and hopefully pushing for the top 4. So that is what happened Saturday. And basically, we're going to talk now to a couple of players from Wyre who were pivotal in making sure that their destiny is in their own hands, because they beat Saddleworth. They won against Chester B. It was a massive game against Saddleworth, and they did a great job. And they've got one more game left this season against Grangetown, which, if they win, they're guaranteed a place in the ENG Youth Netball Premier League Grand Finals. And that was Matilda and Lily. Are they in the room, Martin?
They are just joining us now, sir. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, girls. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, I put on my Facebook and stuff. You are 2 of the heroes of this win against Saddleworth. It was a big game, wasn't it? Like, you couldn't afford to lose that one. But would you say that is your best performance so far in the league this season?
Definitely one of our best performances that we put out in this league. And
were you both aware of? Did your coaches tell you before this, girls, this game against Saddleworth is a must-win game? You got no choice, or did they just kind of not put that pressure on and just treated it like any other game?
Well, there was a bit of pressure, because they did say that this is like, if we win, we're going through. If we're not, but they said play our best and how they know we can play, and then we'll do amazing because they believe in us.
Well, they whatever you've been doing in training and stuff, you started superbly. You got off to a fast start, and you dominated the first quarter in particular, then the second quarter, then the third quarter. And tell us, just give us an insight into how the game went for you girls, and what were you doing so well as a team to be to be dominating that game?
Well, I feel like when we walked on the court, we knew what was like meant out for us and what we needed to go on and do. And we just worked all of our tactics that we've been learning and putting it into gameplay and just making sure that everything that we do counts and every goal that we get is getting to the win.
Well, they've got a player in particular called Brooke who's sensational. Was there much talk about how to kind of stop the threat of Brooke and stopping her dominating the game?
Well, I know that our defence, they had a talk on how to try and like deny the space that she was running into and try and like not run in front of her but stay next to her while she's running into the D and keep on your toes.
And do you believe your defenders were effective in doing that?
Yeah, they did a really good job. They marked the players tight enough, and that secured us the win.
Well, I've got Martin to get it up, so I'm sitting there.
Fourth quarter.
We've got to the fourth quarter. You're like 6 points ahead. I'm kind of thinking the pressure's off because I can relax a little bit because me and the scorer can relax a bit because it's 6 points ahead. They can't get back into this type of thing, but they come storming back. Then you must have been thinking, oh no, was there any part of you thought you could potentially lose that when they started coming back into the game?
I definitely had like the worry inside me, like, oh no, they've came onto this quarter and they're doing really well. But I just tried to keep the team positive, making sure our heads are up and just telling them, like, we've got this and no matter what happens, we come out and we've got the experience and, like, in our head, we've done everything that we've done.
Oh, so Matilda, you're both captains, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah. But Matilda, you're more vocal, aren't you, as a captain?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell. I could spot a captain from a mile. So Matilda, what sort of do you lead by example, or do you have to vocally let your players know? Look, wake up! Come on, we need to focus more. We need to switch on. But is that kind of the message you're sending to the players, or is it just more positive stuff like we can do this? Keep trying hard and all that sort of stuff. How do you get your teammates sharpened back up again when you can see the warning signs that it's not going particularly well?
Well, I know like how my teammates respond to different things, and I know with the if I stay positive, the team's going to stay positive. But if I start shouting at them like, "Come on, girls! This isn't good enough," they won't respond as well to what I'm saying. So I try to stay positive and just give little bits of feedback as we go along, just to help the match play run smoothly.
Well, there was. I think they got back to a draw at one point, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Shall we bring that up a little bit? Let's have a look. See if that happens. Bring it forward.
It does, yeah. Bring it forward.
27, 28.
I think it goes to 30. Then it goes to 30 all.
There we go. Yeah, you're right.
So it's 30 all. Look, you can see the gameplay, girls.
Should we pause it there?
So
talk us through this moment.
So I think it's go and play it, Martin. So here we go. I think this is where they get the 31. So what's the idea here, girls? Obviously, get the ball into the shootout. What are you thinking as players when the shooter's about to shoot here?
Well, we were just hoping that she, use the skills that she knows and gets it in, and that we even if she didn't get it in, we get the intercept and we bring the ball back down to the D again. Do
you work a lot on? How do you know when you do a turnover in netball? Is there a specific part to your training where you actually work on maximizing turnovers? Because that's such an important part of netball, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, in training, we just we realise that everyone has that little voice inside them to go in, just lob it, get it down. We've got the intercept, just get it down. But then our coach was like, just ignore the little voice inside your head and make sure that you have your teammates to be there and giving you a short pass, relax it, and then we like make our passes longer as we go along.
Because what I've found watching, especially teams when they play teams at, just say, for instance, the Oldhams or the Kingsway Power, it's not that they don't turn the ball over. They do that quite often, but they don't seem to maximise the turnover. So for me, it's frustrating because it's, that's the most, when you play top teams, that's the most important thing. You've got to maximise their mistakes. And a lot of teams don't seem to do that.
Sorry, Richard, can I interrupt you? What do you mean by turnover? Just explain that for somebody as silly as me.
Girls, you explain it. Go
on. Well, a turnover is basically when the opposition has the ball and then we intercept the ball, and yeah, that's about it actually.
So it's basically when they've got the opposition's got the ball, especially on their centre pass, turning it over, scoring on their centre pass, because then it goes back to your centre pass. So you
So like the advantage in tennis sort of thing, or right, taking their advantage.
It's kind of, but it's for me when teams play the top teams, they don't seem to take advantage too much. So you're one game away from qualifying for the Nationals. It's against Grangetown. How it's going to be a tough game, because if they do well on the final game of the season, potentially what we're going to be seeing is whoever wins out of that game between you and Grangetown goes through to the grand final. So give us some insight into how you're feeling about that game and how kind of confident you are you can get this job done.
Well, we know that Grangetown's a hard team to play, and we played them in our Berry League and we drew, and we played quite similar in the terms of like getting the ball down, getting the intercept, putting the pressure on. But I'm definitely a bit like worried because we know that they're a good team, but we're going to go and try our hardest, and whatever the outcome is, we're just going to go in there and work as hard as we can.
Lily, what do you think Grangetown's most what do you of their match play? What do you fear the most from them? What do they do really well as a team?
Well, they're really fast on the centre passes. They have like lots of set plays already set and ready. So if we do something different, they already have something ready in case we change our minds and mark someone else. They already know what else to do, and they use their speed as well a lot, and the great interceptions and shooting. So yeah.
So give us your coaches, put your coaches' heads on and think to yourself, how do you train and how do you prepare for Grangetown, and what would the tactics be for you as a team to stop all the good stuff they potentially can do? What is it they do, and how can you stop it as a team, from a coaching perspective?
Well, just be very tactical, and when you have the ball, not waste it, and just you have 3 seconds with the ball, just use it and make sure that you're not keeping, because I know personally when you see someone, you just think, oh, I'll just watch them and make sure they get into space. But looking around you and looking at all the options possible and what the outcome might be, and if you pass the ball.
Okay, how do you slow down a fast team who move the ball fast?
Oh, well, we need to block them off and deny the space that they're trying to go into, and play at our pace and not try and match to theirs, because when we try and match theirs, we're rushing and we're losing balls. And our main thing to start off with would be to keep our goals and just make sure our centre passes go to goal and we get the goal, and we don't need to worry about turnovers to start off with, and just make sure we're getting our centre passes in, so then at least we won't be below them.
In terms of court, who do you believe are the most important players on that court when you play Grangetown? Is it the mid-court players? Is it the defenders? Is it the shooters? Who needs to be on top of their game? I know all of you have to, but when you play any sport, there's a particular strength you need to suppress. So what part of the court needs to be on top of their game in particular? to kind of stop Grangetown getting the win, because we all know Saddleworth will win. So going into that game against Grangetown, you know Saddleworth are going to be above you on goal difference. So any idea of what part of the court needs to be especially on top of their game to make sure you get a win?
Well, their shooters need to make sure probably that they need to get all their shots in. So if they miss and we get the turnover, we then potentially might get a goal. So then they'll be behind, and the centre court as well, they'll need to feed it through, and their defenders hopefully will be on, well, not hopefully for us, but hopefully for them, their defenders will be on their A game and do good.
So you're basically saying your defenders need to make sure they disrupt their shooting as much as possible.
Yeah.
Right, tell me this. I saw something on Saturday, Martin. I haven't spoken to you about this.
Okay.
You might be able to give me an idea. There's some particular area. So, girls, you might be able to give me an insight. There's particular areas of the court when someone goes to shoot. I don't understand why you just don't let them shoot, because it's far. So, because what's happened? What Matilda? I know you're trying. What happens is, I think it was Leeds versus Kingsway Power. The Leeds defender kept defending when someone was going to take a shot far away. But I thought to myself, don't do that, because every single time a foul was given, the Kingsway Power girl got to step forward. So are you allowed as netballers, as a defender's allowed to think, hold on a minute, this shot is quite far away, I'm just going to let her shoot? Would your coach be happy with that? And if you can do it, I don't understand why it's not done more often.
Yeah.
Well, at like a defender point of view, I personally like, if you sort of leave the ball, I try to stay safe, but like obviously not mark. So I like when it's in those situations where they're up, I try and leave a bit more than what I'd normally do, just to make sure that foul isn't called.
Yeah.
And I would never not mark the ball, just because when you're not applying pressure, the shooter just thinks, oh, I have no defense on me. So
yeah,
when you're defending, they sort of are looking at you, but not looking at you obviously, but they're distracted in the corner of their eye. They can just see you marking, and I just think it's more off-putting when you're there than not there.
But Matilda, do you not ever think to yourself and think, actually, do you know what? She's far away. I think I'm going to basically take a punt that she's going to miss this and be more ready for the rebound? Or would that just be completely, your coach would just not have that at all? Would she drag you off the court if you did try doing that?
You will play well, wouldn't you?
Well, I sort of just trust whoever I'm marking with. So if I'm marking the goal attack and the goalkeeper, I just trust that the goalkeeper's in the right position, ball side, ready for the rebound. Because when I turn, I'll block off my player, stopping them from being in the rebound position, meaning that there's one less player near the rebound position. So then hopefully the two defenders are closest to the post, meaning that they're both in the rebound position, meaning there's more rebound, more chance of you getting the ball if they miss.
What would happen to you if you just actually stood there and said, just take your shot? What would happen? What would your coach think of that?
Well, I've never really tried it, but
I'll tell you, if Richard was your coach, he'd probably be going, "What are you doing?"
No, it depends how far away the shot is, because I think it's actually really hard. I go onto, I've said this many times before, but I go onto the court, do a couple of shots, and I think, wow, when you're watching it, you think, oh, easy. You go onto the court and you think, wow, this is not as easy as you think. And depending on where they're trying to take the shot from, I would actually welcome shots being taken from particular areas and be like, you know what, I'm not going to defend you because I don't want to give a foul away, because then that means they get to step forward and be closer to the shot. I would actually allow them to shoot, but be more ready for the rebound.
But what Matilda was saying, that by allowing them that space and that time, they got more chance of scoring because they've got no pressure.
It's so hard.
See, I was listening. I am listening. I do understand it.
No, but Matilda, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. It's just from some parts of the court, it's a tough shot. So I don't know whether sometimes you're just better off going, take the shot, and I'll be more ready for the rebound. But girls, it's going to be a big game against Grangetown. How much does it mean to you to qualify for the grand finals on April the 30th?
I think it'll be a great experience, and I think we'll all we'll all try our best, and we won't let each other down, and we'll do the best we can. So if we do win, that we know we've earned it and we deserve to win because we've tried our hardest throughout all the games we've played.
Well, this business is called earned, not given. I always say it's more of a mindset than it is anything else. And you two and your team, you definitely showed that earned, not given spirit, because you had to earn that win on Saturday, and you basically went out there and took what was yours, basically. And that's what it's all about. So well done. We can't wait to see how this final game of the season pans out. You're going to need to be in your A game, girls. You've had a great win, but you're only, don't ruin it all now. Going into the last one. But whatever happens, as long as you apply yourself the way you did on Saturday, then you can't complain about what happened. So well done, and we'll see you again on April the 2nd.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Oh, well, you talk about your earned, not given. How about quickly talk about your workshops as well, sir? How's that?
Yeah, mate, brilliant. Yeah,
I'm quickly getting something sorted. I'm just quickly swapping a few things over. Let's just bring that up there for you. There you go. Because these help you, don't you? These workshops help you sort of.
Well, they're designed. Look,
there we go.
Put it this way. We've got 10 teams in each league we do. Now, only 4 of those teams will be able to access our national championship. Now, the national championships are a great day out, a great experience. Now, a lot of girls across the country, they don't have the opportunity to play in big national competitions. But not only that, we want to basically allow athletes or netballers the chance to access as much competition as possible. And these workshops are solely about netballers from the ages of 12 to 14 being able to access competitive netball experiences, to be coached by some of the best coaches in the country. So if you click into book now, Martin.
Hey, don't make me spend my money, mate. I'm not booking.
Get Jack involved.
Yeah, there we go.
Like the old days.
The good old days, yes.
So if you scroll down.
Yeah.
So we've got a great lineup. We've got a great lineup of coaches. So April the 5th, we're in London, and we've got Kat Garner. She's a former 2-time Super League champion.
You have a tour bus as well. Sounds like you're on tour, mate.
It does, yeah. We are on tour.
Yes.
Then on April the 6th, we're in Manchester with Lauren Palmer. She's the head coach of Kingsway Power, one of the most successful youth netball coaches in the country. So all our coaches know how to win netball games. Then we've got April the 8th, we're in the East. We've got Jodie Gibson, an England Roses player, a Commonwealth Games gold medalist. She is taking our Eastern camp on April the 8th. So again, and someone who knows how to complete a process and win on the biggest stage possible. On April the 11th, we're back in High Wycombe. Kat Garner's back again, 2-time Super League champion. She's a fantastic coach. 13th, we're in the Southwest. So Hayley, she's a head coach of Poole Netball Club. She has one of the most talented teams in the country. She also coaches at London Post. But again, a born competitor, and she loves the process of winning, basically. And she's going to be in our Southwest workshop. Southwest. I think I've got Southwest is Bournemouth. Sorry, Southeast is East Grinstead, and Hayley's going to be doing that one again. Then the Midlands, we have Lynne Hadley, who is are just well renowned in the Midlands. She's a fantastic coach, coaches at Wasps. She's one of the top qualified coaches in the country. She knows a lot about competition. She knows a lot about how to get the best out of netballers. But basically, if you're a competitive netballer and you want to access a competition environment away from just the normal training environments, or just wanting to be around people who share your passion for competition, these workshops are absolutely brilliant for that. But not only that, you not only access fantastic coaches, not only do you work towards a competitive game to win awards and trophies. Every winning team gets to compete at a national competition.
Ooh.
So and then at the national competition, if you become the national champions at the national competition, you win a VIP trip to the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham.
You're going to say Glasgow? What?
Oh, that was the last one. Yeah, no, I went to the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow in 2014, I think it was. But so for me, the most important thing about these workshops is, and this is why I've set them up in this way, and it's really hard to get the message across, is that if players play for particular clubs that can't access national competitions, this is a bridge to high-level netball. This is an opportunity for players up and down the country to basically access competition netball, but not only that, to compete at a national level as well. And it's just creating more avenues for netballers to maximize their experience in the sport. And with the coaches we've got, the facilities we've got, and the whole kind of structure behind it, you can't lose in these workshops.
You got some big names in there, ain't you, as well?
It's brilliant. I like this because it provides so much opportunity to whether you're play for a high level club, low level club, whatever. If you've got that type of mindset, it opens up more doors for you to access good competitive netball.
That's what you want, though, isn't it? Competitive netball. We all want to be competitive.
No, and we want to create something like is a bit Americanized in a sense, like an all-star national final, bringing together the elite players or the most competitive players around the country, but mixing them all up into different teams. So we create all-star teams, and the kids can go back to school and say, I'm the all-star national champion. We won this all-star event. It's just a cool thing. So get involved this Easter half term, and lay the foundations to your legacy within ENG Sports, and help me put together the most unique national netball event in the world, bar none, at a youth level. This is going to be the most, and I need you to cooperate with me, people, because I'm so desperate to get this national final together, because once I get this national final together, this all-star national final, then I think finally people will understand, hold on a minute, this is fantastic. This is a great opportunity for me to access high-level netball away from my clubs, and just to provide a better experience for me when I'm playing my netball.
But it's a good idea, though, isn't it, to come away from your club sometimes and do something independent of yourself in a very accomplished, obviously, environment. So it's something different. It's when you get used to playing in a certain way, in a certain sort of degree, as you want to say, but you're taken out of that, aren't you? And you're taught in these workshops how to play hard. Correct?
Yeah, but the coaches just provide new ideas and provide new ways of learning the game. But the whole point is that's
what I was looking for. New ways. Yeah, you might pick up on some new things that you may not even thought of. And then in this workshop, that's what you're going to get, aren't you? You're going to it's going to be like, actually, have you tried doing this or playing in this position or doing that? Because I think you've got that potential. It's quite an interesting one. There you go.
No, it's precisely. And it's stepping away from your comfort zone I remember going to trials and going to international games, blah blah blah, and I was petrified. I felt sick basically because it was a new it was a new environment. I didn't know the people, but it's healthy for you to step outside your comfort zone. I get people saying to me, "Oh, can my daughter be in the same team as blah blah blah?" And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. We need, the whole point of this is to provide an opportunity for your child to kind of step out of that comfort zone of being with their friends. Even the friends are still in the room, but you need to learn how to operate without having the comfort of your friend next to you. Because if you get selected for a team and you need to go for a trial, trust me, your friend ain't going to help you with that. You're going to have to go on your own, and you're going to have to just do your thing. And this workshop provides that opportunity to get that experience in going into an alien environment and learning how to perform when you're kind of outside your comfort zone. So get involved this Easter.
Definitely.
ENG Sports UK.co.uk. Get involved. It's great workshop. No other workshop in the country provides the opportunities.
I'm going to put it in the chat as well, mate. There you go. I'm going to put it in the chat. Maybe it's put the chat out yet. There we go. There we go. I've even put it there so they can click on it. Go straight to that page, mate, and they can start booking and fill up those spaces before they go.
Well, right, mate. Well,
there you go.
Let's go to this week. So we've kind of. I was going to talk a little bit about Oldham and the Kingsway Power kind of game we have coming up, but I think we'll do that in a preview show before the big game on April the 2nd. So we will get back to the Kingsway Power Oldham, kind of who will win, but we get a few players in prior to the games being played. But we've got a big week in the Under-13s League, Southern Conference.
We've got Ruby B and Mia in the background, by the way.
Well, it's going to be big. It's going to be big. Like, we've got two people waiting to chat to us, but let's just go through the fixtures this week. We've got top of the table. We've got teams that can win the league this week. We've got teams that can secure their place in the grand finals, and we've got a hell of a lot of teams who are fighting for the top four. So this weekend, Cross Keys versus Abbey Flyers. That's already done and dusted. Abbey Flyers are not turning up. So Cross Keys have won 30-0 on that one. AP Saints versus Team Beds. Team Beds versus Team Bridge. Then we have AP Saints taking on Cross Keys. Turnford taking on Team Bridge. Team Bridge taking on Five Ways. Ryland taking on Eagles. Turnford taking on Ryland. Magic taking on Five Ways. And Eagles taking on Magic. Every single game, bar maybe two, have hold on a minute. No, every game has a massive importance to one team, or if not two teams. So it's the big thing this week is we're going to find out potentially who our top four is going to be, or we might not. It's stupidly well balanced.
Anything can happen.
It can. So if we just go for AP Saints versus Team Beds, I expect AP Saints to get the win there.
Okay.
But I know they might have potentially a few players missing because of school trips and stuff. So great opportunity for Team Beds to take advantage of some missing players from AP Saints.
How would that affect them in the charts, as they say? Yeah,
Team Beds come into it because
they're here.
A team dropped out, so they're just again playing for experience. But why not go and make a name for yourself?
Well, if they beat them, that can hurt them at the top as well for AP Saints.
Precisely. AP Saints have to win. Team Beds will then play Team Bridge. Team Bridge have 3 games and they have to win all 3. They got no choice but to win all 3.
Well
AP Saints, this is one of the big games of the day. AP Saints versus Cross Keys. I think whoever wins this game will 100%. Oh no, I think, to be honest, I think both of these teams really. I think they would have. Cross Keys have to win more than AP Saints, but I think if Cross Keys win and AP Saints win their first game, I think Cross Keys will end up coming second in the league, and I think AP Saints will probably end up coming third. So it's a big game because it potentially decides positions in the table, because you want to kind of avoid as good a team in the Nationals as you possibly can. So that's a victory within itself, getting into certain positions. So big game, AP Saints versus Cross Keys, huge. Then we have Turnford versus Teambridge. Again, Teambridge have to win that game. Turnford have a kind of outside chance of still getting into the top 4, but I think realistically, next season they'll be hoping to build and push for the top 4. Then Teambridge play 5 ways, so they got a busy day. Teambridge, again, they have to win 5 ways. Huge game for them. They have to win that game as well. Ryland afterwards will take on Eagles, so Eagles have the opportunity to win the league this season. This round, and so they'll be determined to get the job done this Saturday. Then Turnford play Ryland, so Ryland have got 2 back-to-back tough games there. Depending on how well they do against Eagles will probably depend on their kind of persona going into the Turnford one. They should get the win against Turnford, but you're dealing with a Turnford team who've got nothing to lose. They've got nothing really to play for. They're not going to go down. They're probably not going to get in the top 4. So those type of teams are dangerous because they've got nothing to lose. The pressure's off, and Ryland have to get a result. If they don't get a result against Turnford and they lose to Eagles, it's going to be disastrous. So Ryland, they need to make sure they at least get 1 win against Turnford or Eagles.
Don't put the pressure on, mate.
I think they're well aware of what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah, I see, mate. That's pressure pot. That is, that could. They need at least 1 win out there, don't they? Really, sort of thing.
They do, big time. And then the big one for me is Magic versus 5 Ways. Local rivalry. Magic have never beaten 5 Ways in the history of their. If Magic win 1 game, I think this week, they qualify for the Nationals. So it's such a big week for Magic, because if they do get at least 1 win against, they've got Eagles and they've got 5 Ways, that achievement within itself from how far they've come last season in a league that's more improved from last season shows the great work they're doing. So what an opportunity for Magic to get their first win against 5 Ways and qualify for the grand finals. It'd be a great story. And we've got 2 people who should be coming into the room to talk about this Saturday. So it's Ruby and Mia.
There we go. Ruby. There we go. They've got Ruby and Mia. Here they are.
Good evening, girls. You didn't fall asleep, did you? Is it past your bedtime at all?
Not yet.
Okay, right. You're kind of you're quite. We see your faces a lot within this league structure now, so it's good to have you on the show. You've both got 2 massive games. Who's got the sound on? What is that, Martin?
One of you has your sound really up, really loud. If you've got a headphone you can put in, that might be that.
But I'll try and
that look, just said it all. What? I have no idea what he's talking about. That's what Richard does to me, by the way, girls. Honestly, he looks and goes, "What are you talking about, Martin?"
Can you hear that, Bat?
Yeah. What it is somebody's got their volume up a little bit high, so it's picking up. It's kind of trying to repeat.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so Saturday, big games for both of your teams. So let's start with you, Ruby. Last round didn't go particularly to plan, did it, Ruby?
No.
So you probably thought you'd get at least 1 win, but it didn't materialise like that. You lost to 5 Ways and you lost to Cross Keys. How disappointed were you as a team not to get at least 1 win in that round?
I didn't really know what happened. I don't know what happened to our team because we usually play a lot better than that. But I was a bit we're very disappointed to get both losses because we trained so hard to try to get as high up in this league as we could. But I don't really know what happened.
But you did go in. Well, how's your finger anyway?
It's fine now.
Is it all good? For happy days. You went into that unbeaten. You probably were hoping you can go into this round unbeaten, so you can potentially challenge for the title. But now you find yourself challenging for the top 4. How confident are you that you can potentially get the job done in a sense where you can get into the grand finals this season? You've got Turnford, you've got let's start with the Eagles game. How do you stop the runaway train that is Eagles Netball Club?
We know that it's going to be a really hard game because of like our past match with them. They beat us, and then in last time they won like the national thing. And I think both of our teams have improved a lot since then. But I think it's going to be, we'll give them a good match, and they'll give us a good match, and it'll be good to watch.
Have you prepared for the duo up the top, the shooter and the goal attack? How do you stop those two from being super successful on Saturday?
I think that's very hard to defend because they have a really tall shooter, and I know that the goal attack is very good, like with her movement, and they can both get like long shots in. So it's going to be hard to defend, but hopefully we can stop it in like the mid-court before it gets there.
So you're basically saying you're the one who has to stop it in mid-court?
Well, I'll try.
Ruby, how much do you look forward to these type of games, though? As a player, you're coming up against what, from last season, the number one team in the country. Do you see this as an opportunity to showcase how good you are as a player?
Yeah, I think our team, when we play better teams, we like play better. I love games like this. I get really excited. Since last time we played them, I really wanted to play them again. So I'm really excited.
Well, last time you played, you got that terrible injury. Do you remember?
Yeah.
You fell to the floor, and you broke your wrist, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't get to play that full game. So hopefully this one, you get to play the full game and stamp your authority on it.
Yeah.
Do you believe you're good enough to beat a team like Eagles?
I think if we play our best, all of us play our best, we're a very good team. We know they're a very good team as well. So if we all just play our best, then we do have a chance at beating them.
Ruby, just say yes. Just say, yeah,
yes,
of course.
We do.
Of course we can, yeah. What are you talking about, Richard? Of course. What do you think I am? I'm playing professional ENG netball here, mate. By the way, Mia, it is your device that's causing the issue. So have you got a headphone that you can, a mic that you can plug in? And then we can do that thing. You know what they do on the news? You know, when they hold the earpiece and they're like talking. It's like, yes, I can hear you.
I can go find one.
No, you're okay, Ruby.
Not you, Ruby. Not you.
It's Mia. So
I can go find one.
Go find some earphones, Mia, quickly. Go on.
I might put it on my phone, and then that'll be better.
there we go. Try that. Should we try that?
Yeah, go. Yeah, cool.
Shall I take you off and you come back in? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Continue on with Ruby for a second. Okay.
So, Ruby, if you get whatever happens against Eagles, we know it's going to be a tough game. We know it's going to be super hard to get a victory there. But if you play the way we know you can play, I believe you can cause an upset. But Turnford straight afterwards, is that the game you're eyeing up as a more of a guaranteed win? Or are you very cautious about kind of getting ahead of yourself and thinking that's going to be a guaranteed win?
I think that we have probably more of a chance of beating them than Eagles. But we want to win both matches, but one would do.
I think, well, if you get one win, that's 10 points. Then your final game of the season is against Teambridge. It's a tricky game, seeing as they come runners-up in the... they haven't been doing particularly well this season, but they're still a great team. Are you a bit nervous, like thinking we might have to beat Teambridge to qualify for the grand finals? That's from where you were and potentially having to beat Teambridge. How nerve-wracking is that for you as a team, or do you feel you've progressed enough as a team not to worry too much about Teambridge?
Yeah, I think losing those two matches last time like impacted like our spot. But hopefully, if we can get 2 or more wins, then we should do fine because we want to get higher up, so we don't have to play like the top teams in the nationals.
Yeah, because
Until the
you
end.
don't. Yeah,
As you go through until the end, because you got to meet them sometime.
Well, Ruby, the way the leagues are panning out, if you come third or fourth, you get to play Kingsway Power Oldham. So is that not something you particularly want to do in the quarterfinals? Would you kind of want to see them in the latter rounds, don't you, Ruby?
Yeah, they're 2 very good teams. So it'd be better to hopefully play like the other 2, but if not, we'll try.
But Ruby, this is why you play netball, to play the best.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We just have to focus on our game.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, you've collectively got to just work hard, be disciplined, and just do the best you can. And whatever. I always say this to everyone: if your best is not good enough, then just look up to the sky and say, "God, thank you very much." You just can't.
You want to unmute yourself, Mia, please, as well. And you join the conversation. There you
go.
go.
Mia, what do you think? Mia, what do you think? Like in regards to Ryland taking on Eagles, you've played Ryland before. Do you reckon they're a team that's capable of beating a team like Eagles?
Yeah, I think so. If you play how you play against us, because you played very well against us, I think you do have a chance of beating Eagles.
What did you find difficult about playing Ryland? What skill set did they have which you thought, wow, I wouldn't mind having that in my team type of thing?
I think you were very good at getting the ball down court. Like you were very good at getting giving the first, second balls, so you could get it down court really quickly. And that was something that we struggled to defend you.
Have you concentrated on that now, though? Have you worked on that so that you can actually stop that from happening? Yes, she says. Yes, I have.
Oh, Kiana would be going. I can imagine the training sessions building up to this game. Ruby, what do you think about Magic's progress this season as a team?
For definitely really good because when we played them like more at the start, and I've seen like them play like AP Saints, I think. Yeah. And you did really well against them, and I think that's really good because you've like noticed what you need to improve on, and you've improved on that. So I think that's really good. Well done.
Well, you're both drawn on points in the league, and the games you're playing at the weekend. Like Mia, you've got 5 ways as your first game, a local rivalry. You've never beaten this team before. What makes you think Saturday will be any different?
Well, we don't really focus on the opponent. So we kind of just focus on playing our best game and playing how we can play. And well, we've been training really hard leading up to the game against Fireways. And we've been looking at past matches and we've been analysing them so that we know what we need to work on in training. And yeah.
You're going to be a massively important because your room for error in the shooting department, Mia, is going to be very, very small. Yeah. So what have you been doing as a shooter in kind of outside of your training to make sure on Saturday you don't really miss? Because your room for error is 0 nearly.
Yeah, we do lots of shooting outside. We do lots of shooting at home. And I also record my stats so I know so I can stay on track and know which region I need to focus more on.
You love a long shot, don't you, Mia?
Yeah.
Are you going to be trying in these type of games? You've got, again, 5 ways is the big one for you. You know, I think forget Eagles in terms of like focusing. I think 5 ways is the one you're going to have to get the win from. Just let Ruby deal with Eagles. But you know, will you be confident enough to shoot from far away against 5 ways? Will you be trying to get to the net as close as possible? to stop potentially shots being missed, or are you still quite confident within your own ability that if you are far away, you're still going to take the shots?
I don't really take far shots unless I have to. We do try and work it in close as we can get. Like if it is coming to 3 seconds and I've got no other choice, then I will take it. And yeah.
I've noticed this actually last week. There's a lot more shots going in. You know, when you do your countdown, Richard, I'm starting to pick up on a lot more shots. People trying to actually get that last goal in.
Well, they've got no choice. They've got 5 seconds to go.
They've been watching, and mate, they've only got 1 second to go, and they just get the ball and they're throwing it.
Well, let's have a look at Ryland's goal difference there and Magic. So let's have a look. So I think Ryland have an extra point just for the fact their goal difference is quite far superior to Cross Keys, to Magics, to Five Ways. So potentially Ryland, you know, they're in the what do you call it? They're in the pole position to basically qualify as one of the teams into the grand finals. But potentially, just say for instance, let's get a prediction going, girls. So, what are you saying, Ruby? Are you saying 2 wins this week? Are you saying 1 win? Where are you at?
We're hoping to get 3, but maybe 2.
So 2. Just say. So I'm going to go with my kind of prediction. I'm going to say I reckon Ryland, you're going to get 1 win, and I think that win will come against Turnford. Don't look at me like that, Ruby. It's really hard to go against Eagles at the moment because they're so consistently good. Mia, I think your potential win will more likely come against Five Ways. And if that happens, you both potentially could be on 5. You could both potentially be on 10 points going into the final round. But then we've got Cross Keys who have already won a game. So they've got 10 points already. So we could have 3 teams all on 10 points going into the final game of the season. And Magic...
Have you not updated Cross Keys scores onto the board yet?
No, I do it after each round.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, that's interesting. So I thought that was with the...
No,
right,
okay. So we have 3 teams potentially on 10 points going into the final round, whereas Magic have Abbey Flyers in the final round, which I think will be a relatively easy win for Magic. Cross Keys have Turnford and Ryland have Teambridge. Who has the easier game, girls? Ryland, Cross Keys, or Magic?
I'm gonna zoom in on that one, mate. Let's get the faces of that one. There we go. We can see them better now.
If all you 3 teams are on 10 points, who has the easier game? Is it Ryland versus Teambridge, Magic versus Abbey Flyers, or Cross Keys versus Turnford?
I think Magic versus Abbey Flyers.
Look, Mia's sitting there.
Well.
So Mia, if you get to the weekend and you know your final game's against Abbey Flyers, do you reckon it's done? You're in the grand finals type of thing.
I mean, we're not going to think like that because we still want to go and we want to play our best game. But yeah, I think we'll have some confidence.
So going back to this rivalry you have with Five Ways, what is it you have to kind of stop their end to kind of have it to stop them having the success they've had in previous games? And do you think, Mia, as a club, you're more prepared for this game in terms of the ENG environment because you've played in this league longer?
Yeah, we have had more experience in the ENG league. I don't think they did it last season. No, we did. So we've had more experience in this league, which is good. But I do think that we've been working really hard. So I think that we are prepared for this and we're ready to take it on.
Do you reckon this is the perfect opportunity to get your first win against Five Ways?
Yeah, I think so.
It couldn't have set up any better if you tried, could it? What part of their game do you have to stop? Where is the most talent on the court for Five Ways? Where's their day? I know they've got a goal attack who's very dangerous. I might be
Yeah.
wrong. Is there anyone in particular you've identified as an issue?
Their shooting stats are very good. They can shoot from pretty much everywhere. So
Yeah.
what we normally try and do, the defense normally tries to push them out the circle, but now we
Yeah.
know that they can shoot from far as well. So we can figure out a way to stop that as well. Yeah.
And do you reckon that's going to be the key thing in getting the win?
Yeah.
Well,
How
Mia,
do you know they shoot from outside the circle? How do you know that? What have you been looking at? Have you sent spies in or something?
No, we had a game. We played 5 ways not that long ago.
Right.
Yeah, in a different league.
do you record the opposition's statistics and stuff?
No, I don't think so.
That'd be
Yeah.
well.
We don't record it. Honestly, not. No, sorry.
I know Ruby. You do a lot of investigation, don't you, Ruby?
Yeah, I watch them on the TV like after the matches when we put them up.
So what sort of stuff do you do, Ruby, in terms of analysing performance of other? Because I know you. I remember when you was injured. I think your mum was telling me that you was given tips and tactics to your team because you've sat and watched the games over and over again. Do you still do that? And have you done that with Eagles and Turnford?
Yeah, I try and figure out what their centre pass and what they usually do and where it usually goes. So sometimes it would mostly go to wing attack. So then on the centre pass, I'd mark the wing attack. So it's harder and it like messes it up a bit. So yeah.
That's just what we like to hear, isn't it, Martin?
Oh man, I'm loving it. When I hear somebody watches the live stream, did you say you bring it up on your TV?
Yeah. You can like get it on your phone and then there's like a thing and you can connect it to your TV.
I love
cool,
that. How big's the TV? Is it 50-inch? What is it? 100-inch?
I don't know. It's just there.
Mum, I need a bigger TV. Dad, bigger TV. I need to really practice. I need to know what's going on.
But Martin, this is what we want to hear. Like Ruby's
definitely what. Yeah.
She's doing her homework. She's identifying. She's going to go into Saturday kind of in a better position because she's kind of studied where their passes are going. Now, Eagles watching this might go back to training and say, well, we
need to change everything.
we'll change everything. But just doing that bit of homework just gives you a slight, that little bit more chance of being successful. So you're saying, right, here we go. You're saying, Ruby, Eagles are going to throw it to their wing attack on their first centre pass on Saturday?
No, I think it's going to the goal attack.
You think it's going to the goal attack?
Yeah.
Right, we need to have a look at that on Saturday, Martin. Will it go to the goal attack or will it go to the wing attack?
Goal attack. What was it? Goal attack or?
I think
wing
it's
attack.
going to goal
Wing
attack.
attack.
Ruby
I
says
think I'll
it's
try
going,
and get it to the goal attack.
and
But
that's
if we
Freya.
mark her, it might not.
That's Freya, isn't it?
Yeah, because she's a very good player. So.
And she does love a long shot as well, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she loves a long shot. Mia, and I was talking to the Wire girls. I know you two are not defenders, but what do you think about allowing players just to shoot if they're far away from the net? And don't mark them, because sometimes they mark them, they get the foul against them, then the player moves forward. Just let them shoot from far away, then be more prepared for the rebound. What do you think of that tactic?
Yeah, I think that's better instead of like trying to go for it and then accidentally doing contact or something.
Yeah.
So then they'll just have a free shot or the rebounds will be free.
Yeah.
So I think you should push them out and then have the other player on for rebounds. And then that would be, I think that's the best way.
So Mia, you're saying if you push the player out far enough, just the defender, just let them shoot.
Yeah.
Without-
Well, if you
without
just
any-
if you push them out, but keep them out of the D completely, because the shooters can't shoot out the D. So if you just keep them outside the D, then they can't
But
shoot.
if they come into the D and, it's not easy shooting into a netball post, into a netball net. If they're just in the D or a little bit, just say a meter into the D, I've noticed on Saturday that you're sometimes better off just allowing them to shoot because sometimes you get the foul against you, and then they move forward and get a free shot anyway. So what do you think of that advice? Ruby, what do you think of that advice? Would you recommend your defenders do that?
I think so. But you'd have to be close enough so because the shooter can pass back and then get a bit closer. So you need to be close enough to block that as well.
Yeah.
So.
But if you see the shooter about to go up, the hand's about to go, just literally stand by the side, fold your arms, say, "Go on then, off you go."
Oh yeah, that's good.
Would you recommend that?
Yeah.
I don't. Their coaches are probably screaming.
I got very funny. Come the weekend, they're going to try these things. He's like, "Richard, they scored. They beat us because we thought we'd listen to you."
But Ruby, realistically, what position in the league do you reckon you're going to achieve this season now?
I think because we got 2 losses last time, I think maybe hopefully 3rd.
You want to get a medal, don't you, Ruby?
Yeah.
And Mia, come on, are you going to do it?
I think we can do it. I think we can get into 4th.
How? Come on, you've got.
You stay there.
You've never beaten 5 ways before. Is this it, Mia? Is this the time magic? Is this what it's all been set up for? How confident are you?
I think Magic have improved a lot. So I think they probably could beat them. Yeah, I think so. I think it might be the day.
Mia, how confident are you, Mia, percentage-wise?
I think this is our time. We played them twice before, and it's 3rd time lucky.
Yeah, I like that.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
Right, Ruby and Mia, what do you think is going to happen across Keys AP Saints game?
I think AP Saints.
Yeah.
You're going to go AP Saints?
Yeah, I'm going to go AP Saints.
And what would you prefer as a team to win that in terms of league tables and how that affects the league tables and stuff?
Good question.
I
prefer AP Saints.
Yeah.
So for your own selfish reasons, you want AP Saints to win that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, AP Saints, if you're watching, I know Hallie will probably be watching.
Yeah.
Hallie, don't let these 2 down. Are you going to offer? Any money at all? You going to offer any money to encourage her?
What did you think of the hack as well? There was a hack on that, wasn't it, from Hallie?
Yeah. What do you think of passing it against? So this is for you, Mia. Passing against the post. What do you think of that?
I think it's really clever. I've started to try and practice it on my post at home, and I always when I'm in warm up, I always do it a few times. And yeah.
I've never seen you do it though, Mia.
Did you watch on the replay, did you, or anything like that? Did you, once you heard about it, did you watch to see what we were talking about, or did you actually watch the interview as we were doing it?
Yeah, I did watch it. I did watch your interview live.
Did you go like this?
Yeah.
I must try that now. Press pause. Going to go outside and practice something.
Yeah.
But it must be one of those ones. If you're going to try it, you've got to be winning, surely. Because if it blows up in your face, that would be a bit embarrassing, wouldn't it, Mia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you gonna try it Saturday, Mia?
I don't know.
She's been practicing.
Yeah, I'll practice it in the warm up, and if there's no defender there, then why not?
Well, Ruby, I hope you've got a few little trick passes up your sleeve because Martin, we haven't got many freestylers in netball, but Ruby is a freestyling netball player. She does some great passing in no look passes. It's some great little variations in her passing. Have you got any tricks up your sleeve this Saturday, Ruby? You've been practicing?
I think the no look pass. I think that always tricks people because they don't know where it's gonna go. So I think I'll try to do that. I don't want to give anything away.
Have you tried the nutmeg? Have you tried that yet? Have you practiced that?
Oh, that's one for you, Ruby. That's one for you. So, did you hear the conversation last week about the under the legs pass?
No.
Okay.
Oh, Richard, we put so much effort into that.
It's a challenge. Right, it's a challenge to. You could try it as well, Mia. but it's probably more of a mid-court type of pass. So we won't keep you too much longer, but basically, when someone's like standing over you, putting your arms like that, in order for them to have balance, they need to have their legs separated, because you can't do it with your feet together. So why don't you pass it underneath their legs?
Or through their legs, yeah.
Because in football and in basketball, they it's called a nutmeg, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the netball, the nutmeg. So Ruby in particular, maybe give it a go.
I'd be so embarrassed if someone did that to me. Like I'm just marking and then someone just does it. That'd be so embarrassing.
But if just say, for instance, your shooter is behind the player and you're trying to throw it over the top, just bounce it underneath the player's legs to your shooter.
Thinking about that, she just moved her eye. She was like, "Hang on a sec."
So Ruby, maybe have a little practice. Have you got training at all before Saturday?
I was supposed to train tonight, but I just did this.
Oh God.
I had a couple of the friends. Can we go and do a little bit of practicing?
So I don't know, mate.
Going into school at night, I mean, the janitor going, "Well, who's doing what?"
I had 2 school matches today, so I was tired. So
No, I don't blame you. If you've played 2 games, then you need a rest.
Yeah.
So maybe have a little think, Ruby. I'm not trying to encourage, but I wouldn't mind seeing a netball nutmeg. Mia, if you can throw it against the post on Saturday, by all means, entertain us, because we need more freestylers in netball, girls. So if you can help us along and entertain the audience even more. But it's going to be a massive Saturday for you. Be prepared, be focused, be disciplined, and I look forward to seeing how you get on Saturday. And we'll give you an interview afterwards to see get some feedback about the games. But good luck, and we'll see you Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Cool.
These netball girls are such lovely girls, aren't they, Martin?
They are, but I reckon by the end of the season, mate, they're going to be nasty.
Well, Ruby's going to be like thinking,
I tried your nutmeg. I tried this. I tried that.
Just and then on Saturday you're going to have Mia throwing it against the post every second. You're going to have Ruby trying to throw it under people's legs. Plus, you're going to have defenders not defending, just letting people shoot.
People are like, what's going on? People just watching on the live stream going, I don't understand. Actually, they should have done this. They should have done that.
Well,
people watch on the side. But
it's going to be
people put in the comments, if you don't mind, especially parents as well. What are you thinking of this interaction, the way that this is going, the way that we're encouraging new ideas, what I mean? Like saying the freestyling of the netball. I mean, they're very fast. They are athletes. We were saying earlier. Would we call them an athlete or a player? They're both. It's hardcore out there. But let us know in the comments, people, what you think of these nutmegs and these ideas. But if you don't play, you're a parent or uncle, aunt, whatever, grandparent. I think it's a great way. I think it opens up the game, doesn't it? It's bringing something new into it, keeping it in their mind that. What more can you say, really, except for amazing?
Well, sport is like the oldest bit of entertainment known to man, isn't it? It's something that captivates. I remember hearing a psychologist called Jordan Peterson, and he talked about the human fascination of hitting targets. And he goes, people congregate around a TV, or they congregate inside a stadium to watch other human beings hit a target, because we're fascinated by targets. We're fascinated with the process of hitting a target. Like you watch football, you're fascinated with whether another human being can kick a ball into that rectangle. Netball, you're fascinated how they can throw the ball into this little this ring, which barely fits the ball into.
That's how I'd call it, a levitating ring, because there's no backboard, is there?
No.
They've got to get it in. So
and we're fascinated by it. And this is what they train. I remember someone on Twitter, I think it's a school teacher of some sort, they said, don't post the score if it gets beyond 6. I think it was a football game. And I just put in well, don't take your kids to a game that's the score's being taken. Maybe set up a league where they don't do a score. But because you can't go into an environment where they take the score, then decide what score is acceptable.
Yeah, agreed.
Because that team is trained to hit that target. Now, when that team are promoting how many times they hit that target, it's a celebration of the hard work they've put in to hit that target. Now, if you don't like it, then you just take your children. If your children are not prepared for that environment or don't like that environment, then go and find an environment where the score's not celebrated. But a score in any sport is just a celebration of hitting a target. And the fascination behind that is quite unreal. It's mind-blowing. And the process of getting to that target is mind-blowing. And it's just, and the human kind of mind is captivated with this process. And if that process means Ruby putting the ball under someone's legs and Mia throwing it against the post, then the experience becomes a bit more, memorable. And you'll walk away from that and say, "Oh, do you remember that when the ball was?" But it's just, you can think back to Formula One, and someone's done a crazy, Formula One's is the process of hitting times,
saving on times. Yeah, just the littlest bit is even taking a corner that they're actually. It's one of the main, like we were just saying about watching the target. When people, I get this said to me quite a lot, and I've said it a couple of times on these shows. People say to me, "Oh, they just go around in circles." No, they don't. You know what I mean? They go through S-bends and stuff like that. They're actually thinking 5 corners back to actually get them into the better position ready for the S-bend, for instance. There's a lot of planning that goes in because, they can take a hit on, say, bend 1 and 2 that they're approaching. But if it gives them the better hit into bend 3, it means they can exit faster, 4, 5, and then be down the road. So, they're at max revs, shooting down to the next bend, especially if it's a long straight. So a lot goes into it, and a lot of thought and a lot of process. And, some people, and this is where you see the champions, the ones who literally, this is why I love Monaco. If you make a mistake, you know what I mean? You've got metal all along your face.
Yeah.
it just kills the car. You know what I mean? It'll break the wheel. But the ones who win are the ones who put it all on the line. And, it's no different than my business and what I do up and down the country as I live stream. I've had my good days, my bad days. But it's like bringing in new tech. Do I do it? Do I not? Like, you love the new camera, the thing that I'm bringing in. I've invested in some other tech. I could sit there and literally not bring in new tech and say, well, this all works fine. But it's not that next level, is it? It's not. It's about pushing the boundaries and bringing something new. Like, I want to bring in a load of other stuff. And it's I know where I want to take it and what I want to do with it and what I want to deliver. And it's the same for the players when they're out there, like you're saying, the nutmegging. It's interesting to see that this starts happening, and like obviously the ball off the post, it just adds to the excitement of the game. And when I go and play other leagues, county, whatever, it'd be quite interesting that they start doing it in there as well. And they'd be like, where did they come up with that?
Yeah,
and a bit like, it just changed, makes things different. I think I talked to you once about it's in the rules, isn't it? That's the point. It's in the rules. Like using the post is in the rules. Nutmegging's in the rules, right? So it was like Braun when they won the year with Jenson Button, who I've had a pint with people. It's the same thing. Braun found a hole in a little tweak you could do to the car that nobody else thought you could do. Like, how many people might say, oh, they used the post to get the ball back and then they shouldn't be. That's illegal, isn't it? And then they look up. Oh no, it's not. It's allowed. You know what I mean? Sometimes that knowing the rules and knowing how to tweak them, not cheat. Again, big difference. Knowing how close you can get to the edge and be right, and it adds to the excitement as well. Because I tell you what, that season when Braun won was amazing because They knew they needed to get to so far in the season to get their points. They had to keep on winning, because when they got to a certain point, there will be the team could bring in the other teams could bring in the changes, and guess what they were doing back at base in England. All those teams were like, I didn't know they could get away with that. You know, all the designers doing all that stuff and ready for that. You know, 7 races later, their new things come in, and they're gonna win the races. So Brawn has to keep the points coming. Do you know what I mean? To stay on top. So it's that sort of thing of know the rules, know what you can put you on the right side, and it also adds to the excitement because people look at it. Sorry, kind of went off on one there, man.
No, Martin, it was spot on, mate. Again, bringing little quirks into the game it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable for everyone, but it's going to be a big day Saturday.
Massive.
There's never a better. But hopefully, but this is what it's about for them. It's about getting them at this age, feeling that intensity and learning how to cope with that intensity. Because I speak of a lot of coaches. If you're trying to teach someone I think the cutoff is 12. If you're not teaching that competitive element by 12, you're going to find it hard to input that mentality into someone. But just getting the kids to engage in this environment, this intensity, and getting them to cope and play within that intensity is a great learning opportunity. And it's for them to go and just maximize the opportunity they have. And should be a really good day. Make sure you come along and you support the day. Should be a great entertainment. Plus, if you can't be there, you can watch it live on FBL, and you won't miss a single goal or a single bit of drama.
I was going to say, let me quickly add that into the screen. There we go. Yay. It will
this
be
is the only league in the whole country. Well, you can go to any youth sports league, and every game is live streamed. It's such a great opportunity for these clubs and for the players, and the league itself thrives with this platform. So just embrace it. Everything is there for you to showcase what you're capable of doing. Saturday, it's all about the teams. It's all about how much work and discipline they bring, tactics they bring to the table, but it's the will to win that is the most important thing. If they all bring that, it should be one hell of a day.
I ain't being funny, mate. I've got a quick question. It's that massive this weekend, these games, hence the thumbnail. Are you going to have enough seats?
Well, I hope so.
Could there be people don't purchase their seats to watch, obviously, live on the court side? They could actually not. There'll be no more seats left.
Oh, Martin, that's a problem I wish I would have. But I'm not even going to think about that.
You've had it in the north. It's been absolutely packed out. And you do have it in the south.
No, this Saturday in the north was just incredible. I want to say thank you, actually, to all the spectators who turned up.
Yeah.
Your support means the league can thrive. And without your support, the league doesn't thrive. So thank you so much for coming and supporting the kids and the teams.
They love it too.
It means the world to them. It means the world to us. And hopefully this Saturday we have a good turnout, good atmosphere, because that does help with the match play and stuff.
Don't miss out on a seat.
Yeah, but now we're running out.
We're running out. Quick book before it's sold out.
But we will be back next week to review what happens this Saturday. But Martin, thank you as ever. Thank you to the Wire Girls. Thank you to Ruby and Mia. And look forward to a competitive day of youth netball this Saturday.
There you go. If you can't be there live, don't forget it's on FBLstreamslive.com. And as always, thank you for watching. And don't forget to comment, people, and we'll pick it up and answer back to you as well. Love the comments. Love people commenting. It's great fun. Bye for now.
Nice one.